Like Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from the Roswell Humane Society, Krystle Noble back with us. Good morning. How are you today?
I am good, enjoying this nice weather.
Nice weather, beautiful weather before the hotness gets in.
I know, Saturday's going to be 101.
101 and then like 99 on Sunday, and 97 tomorrow. So
might as well just be 100.
Yeah, so enjoy today's 86 and not as breezy. So
yeah, because isn't it going to be windy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Yeah, breezy is the term they use. More windy Saturday, but breezy tomorrow and windy and.
I want to know what classifies wind to breeze.
Yeah.
Breeze to wind. You know.
I notice like when they tell me a gust, that's when they say windy. But if they say winds 20 to 25, they call that breezy. But when I say gusting to 30, then they call it windy. I think. At least that's the pattern I notice when I see the weather.
Okay, so
reports.
we're gonna say that it's just breezy all year round in Roswell.
Pretty much. We're full of hot air.
That's why we should have the hot air balloon fiesta here.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But I'm guessing we are talking warmer weather, which means we're getting into the season where you shouldn't be putting your dogs in the cars and all that kind of stuff and leaving them unattended in vehicles because it's getting hot again.
It is. We have already restricted walking times.
Okay.
Because when it's 100 degrees outside, that asphalt heats up even more.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's above 85 degrees, that asphalt's already at about 112 degrees.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to walk dogs morning times, anywhere between 9 and 10:30, 11 o'clock. After 11 o'clock, it's pretty hot on that asphalt. So
gotcha.
Early morning times for walking.
Yeah, or I guess another option would be invest in some doggy shoes. Maybe if you can't do it, if you have only time in the afternoon to do it, then pick grassy areas and maybe get some doggy shoes to protect them paws a little bit.
And enjoy watching your dog flip around.
I imagine,
with them.
it's going to be some training involved to get them to used to it. But I'm guessing bigger dogs would be a little more receptive than little dogs. No.
No. They all equally hate it.
I thought they'd have a little more patience, but maybe not.
They just have bigger jaws to rip them off quicker.
You know what it is? The only time I ever see dogs wearing them are like working dogs, like the search and rescue and
the dogs that are trained in them.
And most of them are bigger dogs, so that's why I just kind of assume in my head that they'll like it. But but you're right. You need to avoid that kind of stuff, or if that's the case, then keep them off the asphalt. Take them to the park where they can run around the grass, but limit the exposure. Bring plenty of water with you. But when you do transport the dogs, limit their time on the sidewalks and asphalt because here in New Mexico, it will burn their paws and it'll do it easily.
Very easily.
And it doesn't have to be as hot as you think to do it either.
No, and it's already tick time, flea and tick time.
So
Seeing a lot of fleas and ticks.
So start putting your flea and tick. If you stop doing that regime, start picking it back up again here because we're getting into that season.
Yeah, we had one of our volunteers was walking one of the dogs at the park directly behind us, and she came back with like 5 ticks on her, and she was only out there for like 45 minutes.
Oh wow!
And so,
well, that's probably good sage advice for humans too. Check yourselves real good for ticks if you're out and about.
So if you do take your dogs to the parks, please check them over thoroughly before going home. Make sure you're using your flea and tick medications.
And that's the thing. If you're regular with a lot, especially the more I'm not talking about those little collars you buy at the store real cheap.
No,
but
those don't work.
But your front lines and things like that, there's a couple of good ones out there.
There's NexGard, Brevecto, Frontline.
If you use them as advertised, you'll have zero problem with ticks and fleas and that kind of stuff. There is no problem if you. Usually, if I know with Frontline, it was like a once a month thing. I have cats now, so it's a little different. But when I had my sissy, that was what we did once a month, and she had not one issue every time we did that. So.
No, and they now have several different ones, but there's the Revolution, which actually has the Heart Guard.
Oh, it's a combo
in it,
okay.
But they have to be tested prior to.
Yeah, you can't take a Heart Guard or a heartworm medicine unless they've been tested for heartworm, because if they have heartworm and take it, it'll kill them.
So when you do the Revolution, if you have your animals on Revolution, it treats for the fleas and ticks and the heartworm.
Okay. How do they present that? Because like usually heart is like something they eat, and then the flea stuff's something you put on them.
Actually, the Brevecto and the NexGards are chewables.
Okay.
So they have the oral and topical.
So I guess it makes their blood taste gross so that the ticks and fleas don't want to come on or something?
With the NexGard and the Bravecto, what it is it doesn't have anything that repels them off of the dogs, but if they bite your animal, it kills them instantly.
I gotcha. So they won't hang out.
They won't lay eggs.
Okay.
As to where, like, the Revolution and the NexGard, they repel them off your animal so that way they don't get on there, but they still live.
I got you.
But you can't do...
So really, the ideal thing is, especially if you have a backyard and things, is to treat your backyard for the fleas and ticks.
Yes.
Put them on something like that, and then you're pretty good shape to go.
Right,
there,
and you cannot use an oral and a topical together.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can't have, the one that if they bite them that kills them, and the one that repels, because you will hurt your animal. So you have to choose which one you want to use.
Okay.
And then stick to that one.
And I'm telling you, if this all sounds confusing, talk to your veterinarian. Your vet will explain all this to them. And if I remember right, these are all medicines that are vet prescribed anyway. These aren't ones you can just buy on the shelf without a veterinarian's.
Actually, you can get NexGard and Revolution on Chewy's and some of the vet sites because they're not HeartGard.
Okay, I got you.
They're just a flea and tick medication.
Okay. Well, I even thought like Frontline I had to get for my vet back in the day. But
back
maybe
in the
not.
day, yes.
Yeah.
But now you can order Frontline.
Okay.
You just can't order anything that's got like the heartworm stuff in it without a prescription.
Well, call your vet if you get it and you have any questions, or even if it's like, look, I have this. Is there anything I need to do or not do before I do this? And the vet office, I'm sure, will be happy to give you that information. So if you have any questions, or check with your vet, because I hate for you to do something you think is doing good for your pet and turns out to not be good for your pet.
Yeah. So always check with them before you give them anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy to try to do something right and it backfire. So always check with your veterinarian before doing anything. The majority of the time you can call up there and the girls or guys, whoever answers the phone, can say, yeah, it's okay to go ahead and give them that, or no, it's not.
Sure.
Or just schedule an appointment, go in and talk to your vet. Say, hey, I have questions about this.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what are your aspects on this and how do you feel this versus this.
Yeah. I'm curious, is this dated technology still, how they used to do the dips for dogs? Is that something that's still done, or is that kind of outdated technology?
It is still done. However, the majority of the dips that are used for the dogs are basically cattle grade.
Okay.
And
it's too much for a dog. It's more livestock.
You can dilute it down.
Okay.
And use it for dipping your dog. But it's not as effective as, like, the Chewy.
We just got better technology.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Or better products out there.
Like, a dip is, like, instantly to drown them out and kill them.
Yeah.
Because it's perithrin.
Like, when I was a kid, when we had dogs, that was kind of the be-all for flea and ticks. Like, get your dog dipped. Now, as an adult, then they had the front lines and all. I just didn't know if that was still done or...
It's not commonly done unless, like, the animal... like emergency needs to have something done, like a surgery or something, then they dip the animal right away.
Okay, I got you.
As to where like the other medications has to go through their bloodstream and takes a little bit longer.
Work its time, and
But if they need like something right then and right there,
Okay,
but,
I was just curious because I hadn't heard about it in a while, and I was like, is that still a thing, or is that?
But what's really sad, and I'm only speaking for here locally, Roswell, is we don't have true winters. So our ticks and fleas never really die off.
They don't get a chance to have a season for them. They're just here.
They're here all year round. And a lot of the times we have fleas and ticks during the winter months. But before NexGard and Revolution and Bravecto, we used to dip every animal that came into the shelter. The ticks were immune to the dip and would not die.
Wow, they built a tolerance to it.
They built a tolerance to it. Because it's widely used at the dairies, because they have to put medications on the cows.
Kind of like antibiotics. You get too much of them, you build an immunity to them at some point. Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we had to find another resource for fleas and ticks, is because we were dipping dogs and it was not killing them. They were not, like, nothing was happening. And I was like...
So it just became ineffective. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay.
And, they reformulate, stuff all the time. But... just like with parvo never dies out here because we don't have true winters.
There's enough. It's not cold enough to kill the bacteria.
So it's always mutating and building and getting stronger, and they have to alter our vaccinations. That's to where with dips and stuff, you can only alter it so much for it to be animal safe.
Gotcha. Interesting. So, so really the point is just be on guard for with this kind of stuff.
Yes. And mosquitoes. Mosquitoes have already started swarming.
And we do get them here. We don't have them as bad as other moisture-laden areas, but we do get mosquitoes here.
If you live in the city limits, you don't have them as bad as you do in the county.
Yeah, this is true.
Learning this from last night event at home, our mosquitoes are full force and hungry.
Well, and that's just it. We live in a world here that if you have any kind of body of water, a puddle, a bird bath, overnight you can breed 1,000 mosquitoes. It's just because that's how they reproduce is water, and that's why we don't have it as bad as, say,
Texas,
or New Orleans would have it, but but nonetheless, it's a dry. Once they get out and about, they thrive here. It's just, and they carry the West Nile and all the other communicable diseases that they can spread.
And if you have, other animals versus cats and dogs, mosquitoes will bite other animals.
Mm-hmm.
They thrive on blood, and they don't care if it's animal related or human related. They thrive on blood. And that's one of the reasons why mosquitoes are so deadly is they can go and bite this person, bite this animal, bite this person.
And then spread. If it bit something that's got something, then whatever it bites afterwards is going to get it too.
Right.
It's, assuming it's something that's that contagious,
Right.
And not can't fight off antibodies and all that. Yeah.
There's actually a vaccination for horses to prevent fleas. Or, sorry, not fleas, mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes, okay.
Because there's a disease that mosquitoes can give horses that it's kind of like the mad cow disease in a horse.
Okay.
But the mosquitoes are really bad in our area, especially out in the county areas where, there are little bodies of water.
Sure.
And,
yeah.
When
water and holes to feed animals and various things like that.
And you're the only blood supply in like a 50-acre area.
Yeah. It's a smorgasbord for these things.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
If you take your dogs out on hikes and stuff like that, make sure they have these little bands that are like mosquito repellent.
Yeah.
Put them around your dog's paws.
It's kind of like those off things that they clip-ons for us.
Yes.
I don't know how well they work, but I've seen
don't.
them out there. I didn't know they have a kind of a version for animals.
Well, they're the old keychains that were like that stretchable.
Oh yeah.
Rubbery type thing.
Yeah.
So they have those, and it's a mosquito repellent that you can put on your dogs. They just can't eat or chew on them.
Okay.
So if you put a couple around their collar,
don't let them get to it.
While you're out like hiking, camping, anything like that, to help repel the mosquitoes from them, because the mosquitoes will go nuts for your dogs out there as well as they will go nuts for you.
Gotcha.
And I think Big Five carries them. Walmart used to carry them. I haven't seen them at Walmart in a while.
Okay.
But you can order them on Amazon too.
Okay. Yeah, say it's the COVID world, so supply and demand, it might be a little bit different now, but you can find them out there either online or like I said, Big Five. You've seen them there, and just keep checking back, and then and you could always ask your vets about them too, and they can give you more information too if you have more questions or things about it there. And I'm sure just like Petco or any of those carry that kind of stuff.
I'm not sure exactly what Petco carries for like repelling mosquitoes from dogs. I know that they carry like the sprays to like kill.
Sure.
But
I didn't know if they had those there too or not.
I haven't seen them, but I haven't even looked for them there because I wouldn't think to look for that at Petco.
Really?
Because the bands are they're for humans. That's why I said put it around the collar.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's where I missed that part. I thought they were.
They're for us.
Okay.
But if you put them around your dog's collar, so that way that repels, because that's what it's supposed to do for us.
I'm surprised they don't make a doggy version now. Like
they might.
You know what I mean? It's you know what? Oh, I wanted to have a whole discussion about this, and I didn't. I saw a thing on Facebook yesterday. It's this toothbrush for kids, but it looks like a mouth guard on a stick. Like a mouth guard for sports or whatever. It looks like that on a stick, but inside the mouth guard's these little brushy nubbins. And so what you do is the kid puts the thing in its mouth like a mouth guard, and then uses the stick and just goes back and forth. And apparently it brushes the teeth and everything, so it's like great for kids. And I was like, man, they should make an adult version. And if you go to the website, there is an adult version of this thing. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of curious about it. And so,
okay, I thought you were saying they should make it for dogs, so it's easier. For
well, you know what? I would say yes. A dog version might, maybe.
Because
but,
have you ever tried to brush your dog's teeth?
yeah, it's a royal pain in the tail.
It
But
is.
That design would not work for dogs because their mouth shaped different. But I wonder if there could be a.
Well, they could do like a half guard, you know, where you put it on there and you just like playing tug of war with your dog.
Yeah, and they might turn into a game or something.
And then flip over to the other side.
But I was thinking, maybe they should make an adult version of that. So when you said the mosquito thing, I was like, well, make a dog version. So, but anyway, be on the lookout for that. But yeah, we better talk. As far as what's at the shelter right now, how's the pets looking, and how many are ready for loving homes here?
We have quite a bit. Coming up next week, we will have a litter of 14 Chihuahuas.
Oh wow!
That will. About half of them are of weight, so only half of them will be going up for adoption.
Okay.
The other half still are under 1 pound.
So they'll be a couple weeks behind them or whatever.
But the ones that are at the 2.2 pound mark coming next Tuesday, they will be out of quarantine.
Did Mama have them at the shelter?
No, they were found in the side of the road out by the baseball field on Sunset in a collapsible dog crate.
Someone dumped them there? Savages.
Yeah.
This is what's wrong with this town. This is why we have a problem in this town, because of people like this. And that's why the Humane Society does such great work to combat this stuff. So, folks, if you see that kind of activity, please report it. If you see people doing this kind of stuff, report it. Don't make it your business, because this is just brutally wrong what these people are doing.
You can't help an animal if you don't speak for an animal. You have to be the voice of animals, because unfortunately they don't have ways of communicating with us.
And I'm glad someone found it and was able to get it to you guys, or if it was you yourself or whoever, I'm glad
a lady called animal control, and animal control called and said, hey, do you want some puppies? So they picked them up and brought them to me.
But they're fun little guys once they
There's a few of them that, oh my gosh. I don't need another dog, but there's a few of them that are making me consider this.
Yeah. So any Chihuahua fans looking to add a few members to the family, we got a few that are coming up and a few right behind them. So if you don't like, if those don't kind of mesh with you, we got a few more waiting in the wings here.
Yes,
so.
They have to make the 2.2 pound mark.
Okay.
And a good portion of them are over the 2 pound mark. But there's a few of them that I'm pretty sure they might not ever make the 2 pound mark.
They're just little?
They're little bitty.
You think they're premature or something?
No. It's just, so Chihuahuas originally are meant to be small.
Right.
And then people wanted to make itty bitty Chihuahuas, so they developed the teacup Chihuahua.
Oh, so it's just crossbreeding.
So I think, mommy was itty bitty, or daddy was itty bitty and mommy was a little bit bigger, because they're not big. And, the ones that are small, they're like palm of my hand small.
Oh, man, little pocket dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I call them shelf dogs because all dogs sit here.
Yeah.
So.
I can do that pretty soon.
My Great Dane thinks he's still a shelf dog.
Couple more burgers and I'll be right there.
All right, Mike. We're going to get you sized up. You want to push up, bro?
Not yet, but soon. Wait till I start tripping over them. But
they will go up for adoption once they hit surgery weight. So as long as everything stays good. Luckily, we have not had any issues with parvo or distemper so far.
Good.
I know there's other shelters around us. I know Hobbs is being annihilated by distemper.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And a lot of part of Texas, the southwestern part of Texas that kind of butts up against Hobbs area, they're having a lot of issues with distemper. So distemper typically is not this early in the year, but we're already reaching highs that we normally don't have this time of the year.
The weather's kind of dictating it to kind of spread earlier than expected.
So if you don't have your animals vaccinated, please get them vaccinated. It is easily spreaded.
That's just it. It's one of those things that can easily kill your dog, but is also easily prevented.
It is.
And that's one of these things that you get the shot, you have zero issues. If you don't, it's a crapshoot, and you don't want to play those odds.
With any any vaccination, just like when we go get our flu shots, pneumonia shots, whatever, it's a live virus. So you are administering that virus into your body, and yeah, it might not make you feel good for a couple of days after, but that's because your body is building immunities against it to fight it off if it comes back into your system.
Now your body recognizes and knows what to do to attack it.
Right, and it's the same with parvo distemper vaccinations. You are administering a live virus into that animal, and some animals, you know, they don't get feeling funky. Some do.
Sure.
But it's not a 100% preventative from getting it, but it's less likely that your animal will get it if they do get the vaccinations. Now, however, if your animal is vaccinated and they do catch parvo or distemper, the treatment is a lot more effective and a lot less cost-wise.
Okay. So the survivability goes up tenfold when they're vaccinated. Gotcha. Okay.
It really does. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, parvo is very expensive to treat.
I've always assumed it was kind of a death sentence for dogs when they got it usually. And
it's 98% a death sentence because the majority of the dogs are not vaccinated that do come in contact and catch parvo.
Gotcha.
So, and a lot of people think, you know, oh, my dog had parvo as a puppy and I treated it. They're mistaken because there is a virus called corona.
Okay.
Which is nothing like our coronavirus. It is basically parvo, but on a milder level.
I got you.
And
Parvo
that
light.
is treatable.
Okay.
And it has the exact same symptoms as parvo. Now, it can kill them the same as parvo if not treated.
But not as severe.
But
you got more time with this one to get it treated.
If, you know, your animal showing signs of parvo and you take it to the vet, and they're always going to treat as parvo because that is more common than corona. But corona, you know, in a day or two, your animal's back up, eating, gaining weight.
So they're going to respond to the parvo treatment a lot quicker than a dog with parvo.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So
Makes
that's,
sense.
you know, the difference in parvo and corona.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, there is a vaccination for corona. However, we're not more apt to have it here because we are not in, like, the humidity areas, but it is here. It's just not as spread as parvo is.
Put it this way, you're more worried about the parvo, and if someone has the corona, the parvo will fix that. So regardless, we're going to treat it as parvo, and it's going to cover the bases, whether it's parvo or corona. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
I do want to talk about something for the thrift store really quick, and then and for us. We're still having a little bit of
you had to delay the opening.
We reopened.
Yes.
Once all the rest of the materials come in, we'll have that section of the store blocked off and closed.
Okay.
Yes, because
so we're still got a little bit more remodeling going or renovations going.
Unfortunately, because of the lack of materials, you know, the book room is not finished.
Okay.
So our book room is completely closed off. Once the rest of the materials come in, and Camille's husband, who is volunteering and donating his time in building the shelves for us.
Exactly, yeah.
Gets those finished, then the book room will be back up and operating.
Well, good.
They are, for this Friday, for Mother's Day, they're doing all ladies' wear, purses, and wallets are going to be half off.
Nice. Save some cash.
And that's going to be tomorrow.
And I know there's a lot of women, my wife included, that have purse and wallet fetishes.
Okay, so I don't have a fetish with purses and wallets as I do Tupperware and storage containers that my husband can content to 19 totes of kitchen items. But there have, since they closed down and were able to pull out some of the other stuff that had been donated and sort through stuff, they've got so many brand new purses out there that still have the tags from the store that are really nice, like the designer looking purses.
I'm about to say, you could probably slip a few designer ones in there. Instead of paying $300 for it, you get it for a fraction of that.
And they got a lot of wallets. Some of them have matching wallets that came with them. They got a nice selection of dresses, like really nice summer dresses that are brand new, still with tags on them. So if you're one of the ladies who likes to dress in the summertime and wear dresses and all of that, they have a lot.
Summer dress party type stuff.
They do.
Yeah.
And they actually have two of these really cool looking old style trunks.
Okay.
Like, you know, back in the day, like okay, I say back in the day, like I was alive and then, but where you like
the cedar trunks, or,
like when
or like
what
a treasure
suitcases
chest
used to be.
Okay.
Yeah, the old trunks like
Yeah.
that. So like you would pack your stuff, lock your trunk, and throw it on the back of your wagon.
But it's one of the old ones, the solid ones, not the particle board ones you find today and
I
all
got
that.
2 of them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then they've pulled out all of their summer clothing. So shorts, swim shirts, tank tops. They've got everything is restocked, all summer clothing. Kids, women's, men's. It's all out.
Get your shorts on and tank tops and tube tops and all that good stuff.
And just a whole bunch of new clothing in general, new shoes. They went through and cleaned everything out and restocked with all brand new items, new everything.
So it's game on. If you haven't been in a while, come and see the new stuff. And like you said, the books will be coming. Thank you to those volunteers because, again, all these stuff we're talking about, these are people donating time, money, effort. These are people that are doing it out of the kindness in their heart, and we appreciate that. That's they care about the animals and they care about what's going on there. And so, but like you said, it's on their time. So give him some time. Let him when he gets in there, when he gets another day off that he can work on it, he's gonna work on it.
Yeah, and then this Saturday, the thrift store and the kennels will both be closed.
Okay.
One of the original founders of the Humane Society recently passed away, and their funeral services are this Saturday.
Sorry to hear that.
So we will be closed for that.
Okay.
There's going to be signs on the door saying closed, but just wanted to let everybody know ahead of time. We will be closed this Saturday for one of the original founders.
But reopen normal hours by next week.
Yes.
Excellent.
We were just going to be closed for the day for the services and to be with their family, who's been a part of our family at the Humane Society for years.
Well, and that's just it. The people that day in and day out are a part of that thing are close-knit family, and because and it's one of those things because you all see the most awesome stuff and the most worst stuff together, and that kind of does create a bond a little bit when you do that. And so you have those moments of joy and excitement, but then those moments where you see a bunch of chihuahuas in a cooler on the side of the road just being left there. So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about.
Yeah. So.
And I'm sure that's the tame end. You know what I'm saying? People do a lot worse than what just leaving some dogs on the side of the road.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean, as sad as that is to think of, that's on the tame end, unfortunately. But anyway, of course, another way to help out is become a member.
Yes.
If you go to roswellhumane.org, you can see every single animal that is calling the Humane Society home.
Our website is currently on the fritz.
All right, so don't go there right now.
So I don't know why, but we recently were updating it, and then it updated to a date back in like 2018.
Oh, it reverted back to a couple years ago.
And we couldn't get it to undo. So we're waiting for GoDaddy to
some
work
IT
that
people.
tech out.
Okay.
Because this lady called, she's like, "Hi, yeah, I was looking at this blah 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 dog." I'm like, "We don't have that dog." And she goes, "It's on your website." And I opened up the website, and I'm like, we got problems. So
maybe Facebook is probably a better, more reliable.
I haven't had a chance to post anything on Facebook with current pictures.
But if you want to reach out, that's a good way to do it.
If you want to reach out, just send me a message to the Facebook Messenger. It goes right to my phone or to Felicia. One of us will get to you.
And check back with the website. They'll keep
they said it should be 48 hours, so hopefully by tomorrow or
good.
So. Today or tomorrow it
but
should be.
But it's a great way to check out. And when it is back up, you're going to see some of the pets that'll have not of it, including some of those chihuahuas.
Yes.
And that just means they're still in quarantine. It doesn't mean they're adopted. If they're up on there, whether they have a not available or not, they are going to be available or are available for adoption at some point. So.
Right. So the not available just basically means that they, 1, don't weigh enough, or 2, they don't have all their vaccinations, or 3, they might be on a medication.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, they're at a point where they're just not able to go to a home yet until whatever situation's taken care of there. Of course, you can always come by the Humane Society, which is located right next to Animal Control there on East McGaffey. The thrift store is right next door, so if
you could hit a 3 for.
Exactly. So if you're in the Humane Society and none of the animals connect or speak to you in any way, shape, or form, walk right next door to Animal Control. Regardless of what building you take an animal out of, you're rescuing a pet.
Right. Saving a life is saving a life, whether it's from us or Animal Control.
Yeah.
Our main goal is to find homes for these animals, loving homes that are going to take care of them, provide for them, and treat them as a family member.
Absolutely. And if you're willing to do that, And the Humane Society would love to have you be a foster or a full permanent home for these pets. That's full-time parents for these. And I'm telling you, you'll love it. The cats, dogs, they all have their most unique things. And if you don't have a yard and things like that, maybe a cat would be a better option for you. And
we do have plenty, to choose from. So
yeah, you guys are always usually pretty fully stocked with cats. So is there anything we missed?
I don't think so.
And again, don't forget, this Saturday, the Humane Society and the thrift store will be closed for a funeral, but will be returned open. I guess the thrift store will be what, Wednesday?
Yeah, we'll be back Tuesday, 9 a.m., and then the thrift store will be back open Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Excellent. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Yes.
It is 9:50.